Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you can see and hear me okay. I have reset up the live stream here in my office. So let's do that first before I even start going in and saying hi to everybody and stuff like that. So if you can hear and see me, leave a comment, please, in the chat. And as soon as I get the go ahead there, we'll get started. This is supposed to be, usually it's a Tasty Tuesday. So usually I'm cooking, and I'm sure people are going to be probably disappointed that I'm not cooking tonight, but there's just been too much going on. So, which I'm going to go and go into here. There's just a lot going on. It's been crazy. Okay, so let me get back. I've got the thumbs up from a bunch of people that they can see and hear me. So I think we're good. Okay, so hi, Bob. How are you? I missed you guys too. I'll tell you the hardest thing about traveling in Australia was the time difference. I didn't feel like I could connect online with anybody except for people in Australia because it's literally just such a, I mean, it's a day ahead. It's totally different time zone, and it was extremely difficult, way more than I anticipated. I also didn't anticipate that I would be so exhausted that I couldn't get up at 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning to do the premieres and things like that. So it was an eye opener, let me tell you. Um, Hi, KS, how are you? Yes, so I moved the which would be Taste Tuesday. I talked about this last time, to 6:30 instead of 7, just because I'm getting too tired in the evenings. So I just wanted to back it up a little bit. And I had a lot of people that were definitely for that. So we'll try that out, see how it works. Hi, Heidi. How are you? Hi, Barbara. Hi, Craig. How are you? Hi, John. How are you doing? Hey, George. How are you? Good to see you. I'm going to fill you in on George Jr. in just a little bit. Um, Hi, P. Whitkin. How are you? Hi, Susan. How are you? Hi, CB. How are you? All right. Hi, Joni. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Pat. Hi, Norma. It's good to see everybody. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Joe. Hi, Donna. Hi, Juliet. And Heidi. Somebody said one time it's like they left a message saying like I'm acting like romper room or something, and I guess I could see that. Hi everyone. I forget what his intro was, but he used to say hi to all the people. Hey Faith, how are you? Hi Crystal. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Hope all is well. Hi Heidi. I can't remember if I said hi already or not. Hi Elaine. Hi Margaret. Hi Melinda. Um, Hi, Kathy. All right, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and jump in. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. I try to scroll through and catch everybody, but sometimes I do miss people. All right, so let's go in order of the graphic that I put out. So let's talk about the trip to Australia. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Like, it is mind-blowingly beautiful there. And there's parts of it, like when I'm going through a certain area and I'm like, Jeff, that reminds me of X, Y, and Z in the US. So there were similarities, but what was different, and I'm sure there's parts of the US where you can find this, but I couldn't think of one. You could be going around a mountain and then just you could be in forest, you could be in rainforest, and you can also see the ocean. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's just amazing. It's very beautiful. The beaches are very accessible. We didn't go to the beach or anything, but they're very accessible to pretty much everybody. I mean, the ones that we saw, I think they were pretty much all public beaches, and gorgeous water, gorgeous waves. I mean, it's mind-blowingly beautiful. I went on a little bit of a quest that sort of fizzled out. I meant to do it all the way through Australia, but I didn't for some reason. I don't know why. I stopped. I can't remember the last one I ate, but anyway, I was doing their meat pies, and trying to find like the perfect one, right? And of course, John was saying the perfect one is the one that, somebody likes the best because everybody has different preferences, right? But I was really judging it on the pastry, the flakiness and things like that. And of course, the flavor of the filling as well, and the texture of the filling. That was kind of important to me. Um, so I started doing that, and we have videos on it and things like that. I did one live, and then we were gonna, put together little short videos. Jeff is working on all that, and which I'll get to in just a minute. But I don't know, when I got to Tasmania, the world shifted. And we didn't ever eat any of them in Tasmania. So yeah, it's kind of weird that I just dropped the ball on that. We had a lot of balls up in the air, so I'm not really that surprised that we dropped it. So anyway, every part of Australia was beautiful. We loved every bit of it. It's really hard to say which one was better, which one wasn't. They were all a little different, and we loved every minute of it. I'll be happy to answer some questions if you have any. You'll be seeing more as Jeff gets these videos done. We were gone, I think like 30 days, close to that, right? And no, more than that, because we were gone almost 5 weeks or just shy of 5 weeks. Anyway, he has so much footage, and I don't even think he's got the footage from my phone yet. And he has to go through it all, organize it, and then start to put it into like little videos, right? That have a theme. One that I'm really excited to share with you guys is me making bread in the Shack, which is a place that we stayed in Airbnb in Horsham when we left John and Barry's house. And John gave me 10 pounds of flour. It's this amazing flour that he makes bread with, and it's got some seeds and things like that in it. Amazing. And I did so much with it all through Australia. Like, I carried it around and I made bread almost everywhere I went where it was feasible. Obviously, hotels, you can't make bread too easily. I mean, maybe I could have figured it out, but it was just amazing. No measurements, no nothing, just made bread. So I love that. That was great. And Tasmania was my favorite place. I think it was Jeff's favorite place too. We just absolutely loved it there. I did learn some stuff about salt and Tasman Salt in particular, which is a company, a salt company there. And I can't wait to share that information with you guys because it was really eye-opening. And I did a little tasting with their salt, and it is pretty amazing. And you could say, oh, salt is salt is salt is salt, but honestly, this salt was better than any salt that I've had. And I love the size of the flakes, and it was really just perfect. And they've got some flavored salts too that are pretty interesting. So we're going to follow up and do some more videos here, short ones, probably some lives or something with those salts and stuff, so I can share that with you because it was really fun experience to watch that. So I think you'll love that video. And then, of course, we've got some videos for avoiding highways that are coming out that are more scenic, not about food. Food will go on the salted pepper. The scenic stuff will go on avoiding highways with Jeff and Louise. So if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe to that channel. And then as they get posted, you will be notified, hopefully, if YouTube works. Okay, so let me get into the comments here. And thank you, Kathy. Kathy said she's glad to see me back. I'm glad to be home too. 5 weeks was plenty of time. I don't think I would have wanted it shorter, but I don't think I would have wanted it any longer either. So 5 weeks was good. I was glad to get home. We had a tornado a couple days before we were flying out. It's funny, we flew into a cyclone in Brisbane and we flew back to the aftermath of a tornado, which went directly like in between my work and my house, my home. And it was really, I think Jeff said, just about 5 miles away from our house. So, and it devastated Selmer, Tennessee, which I drive through all the time. And it's a small part of Selmer, Tennessee, but that doesn't make it any less devastating. I mean, obviously it could have been worse, but it could have not happened at all too. That would have been much better. And the destruction is pretty crazy to see, and it's being cleaned up, but still it's going to take a long time. So we came back to that, and thankfully Jeff thought about our basement because I didn't think about it. And he thought about our basement. He's like, I better go check because we got a lot of rain. I better go check and see if it's flooded. Well, guess what? It was. So that was our first or second night back. I think the first night we stayed here at work, then we picked up the dogs, and then that was our second night back. So we are still dealing with that because we were able to get it pumped out, but now it's cleanup mode, and then assessment mode, and we've got a dehumidifier going and things like that. So Jeff is dealing with that. Then on top of it, we get into the George thing. So in the middle of, well, early morning, George let out this yelp. He was on the chair next to me and he let out this yelp and he like jumped high up and fell on the floor. Literally just fell on the floor. Jeff was still sleeping. So at first I was like, did he just like fall off the chair? What happened? But then I kind of went over to him. I moved the end table. It's a circular thing that we have at our house. I moved it and he tried to scramble up and immediately splayed back on the floor again. And I'm like, oh my God, something is wrong with him. So we ended up getting him to the vet and they did x-rays and they were alarmed, to say the least. And they sent me to Mississippi State immediately, which is about 2 hours from where we live, 2.5 hours, something like that. And I've been there before. I've been there with Gus, and I also took Lady May there. I love them. They are, it's a teaching college, and they are just lovely. I mean, they're wonderful. So they did a workup. Unfortunately, George started to regurgitate a little bit. So that means that as he was eating or drinking, it was coming back up. And then when they took him off of oral food and fluids and had him on IVs, it was still coming up. Through that, because he was also on some pain meds, he ended up aspirating it, which means you get it into your lungs, and then it started to build some bacteria, and he developed aspiration pneumonia, which is unfortunate because that delayed the surgery by, I guess, probably almost a week, because he needed to go on IV antibiotics, and they just felt like he was stable enough that it wasn't worth the risk to get him on the antibiotics. So anyway, he had surgery on Monday, and they feel like they got most of it. Most of the herniated disc, I didn't even tell you what was wrong with him. He had a herniated disc that was a compression fracture. So it was applying the pressure to a spinal cord, which was giving him ataxia in the back, like this movement. He couldn't really negotiate steps very well. I mean, he tried, but he really couldn't. And he was just swaying too much and, not steady at all. Like he would fall down very easily. So they recommended surgery. I was okay with it, although, geez, it's expensive. Oh my God. But so he had surgery on Monday, and like, I don't know, you have a bad feeling, like, I just had a bad feeling, but turns out, well, no, gosh, knock on some wood. Turns out that I'm sorry, Gus. I've got Gus back there. Turns out that he's doing great. So last night he was very out of it because of medication. He's on ketamine and different things like that. So he's totally out of it, which is understandable. This morning I got the call from Adam, who is just a doll. And there's Gussie. And so I got a call from Adam, and he said that he took George out, and George was able, they have a harness and stuff, like they're supporting him, but George was actually able to stand on his own when the harness was kind of released a little bit. And that is a really good sign. So I have not heard from the surgeon, but based on what Adam said, I'm thinking that we are in the 80 to 90% recovery goals. So without surgery, it was 50-50. With surgery, if they can feel their feet right after surgery, it goes up to 90% for full recovery. I mean, full on, like back to baseline, maybe even a little bit better, full playing, full everything. Since I haven't heard from her, I don't want to say 90%, but I'm thinking, somewhere between 80 and 90% recovery for George, which is the best news ever. However, it's going to be a long road. He is on strict bed rest, so crate rest, for 4 weeks. and cannot be allowed to get excited. And George is an excitable dog, especially when his brother, which way? Brother is around, okay? And especially if he sees his brother playing with his sister, he gets really excited. So, and he can't do any steps. And at our house, we have a flight of steps. I mean, there's not a lot of them, but I don't know, 7 or 8, I think. But here in Corinth, where I work, there's only one step down and then a teeny tiny one to the yard. So after discussing it with the surgeon and Jeff and I have made the decision to me rehab George here, and he will watch the dogs there as much as possible. Now, when he goes to work, I obviously have to have the dogs because they can't be alone for 14 hours at a time. So, but I've got a plan in place for that. So it's going to be very, I think, a little labor intensive because, I got to make sure if they're here, I got to make sure they're out of the sight. And then get George out of the crate. I have to kind of keep those two a little bit calm so that George doesn't hear them. But anyway, it will work out. We will do what we need to do to get George back to the best self that he can be. And I thank you guys so much for all of your prayers and messages and understanding of why I had to cancel the Q&A last week. And you guys have just been great. And I've missed you all so much. So I'm sorry it's not a Tasty Tuesday. I know that's what you guys really love, but hopefully this will at least get us caught back up on where things are going. Okay. Hi, Margaret. How are you? I'm going to read some comments here just to see. Oh, Elaine made the bread bowls again. Just eating bread, of course, no soup. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I love the bread. The bread is so good. And your pictures are gorgeous. Thank you. We've got so many more. So many more. Hey, Larry, good to see you. Hi, Renelle, and I don't know if I said that correctly, so I apologize if not. Hi, Linda, how are you? All right, so Crystal just put up a thing, so I'm just want to say hello to all my friends. I'm sure y'all are talking to me in the chat, but I can't get my phone to work quite right. So if she's not answering you guys and you're saying hi to her, that's why. Hey, Barbara, how are you guys? Hey, Leanne. All right. Is a native recipe meat? Are you talking about the meat pies? I believe it's mince. I think the original, and John, chime in, babe. I think the original meat pie was a mince, which is actually like kind of a little too mushy for me. The one that I tasted, I like the chunky meat pies better, but I think the original was a mince, a beef mince. I think maybe not even just beef. So maybe John can chime in there. Hey, Brittany, how are you? How is little Franklin? I hope he's doing well. He's such a cutie. I love seeing his pictures on Facebook. Hey, Bonnie, how are you? Okay, great. Juliet found the Avoiding Highways with Jeff and Louise and subscribed. Great, wonderful. All right. Hey, Rebecca. Bob, do they do American TV shows over there on their TV? I don't really watch TV that much. So I don't really know. I'm trying to think if I ever had the TV on anything but the news, which was Australian news. I don't know. John will have to answer that because I don't watch TV, so I don't really know. George says, my poor buddy, despite him getting me in trouble all the time, he is so cute. He really is, George. He's so cute. Okay, John is saying they have a great deal of TV shows from the U.S. Yes. I just didn't see any because, I don't watch TV. So, I mean, when I say I don't watch TV, sometimes I do, but very seldom, very seldom. Juliet asked how old is he, meaning George. He is 10, which shocked me a little bit. I didn't think my baby was that old. He looks like a puppy to me still, so, but he is 10. Thank you, Bonnie. Um, all right. Hey, Marcy, how are you? Yeah, thanks so much. And I'm glad we took a chance on the pity too, although he is definitely a mix and he's just so cute. He's a big baby, but I hear a lot of pit bulls are big babies when they're raised right. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Hi, Deborah. Welcome back from paradise. It was paradise. Um, Okay, so CB, Portugal, talking about the dog. They get them moving ASAP in the water treadmill. Yes, now they don't have that there that I know of anyway. But I was talking to my friend Amber, and water therapy, if I can find something around here, is probably going to be a really good thing for him. I mean, we all know water therapy is good for humans, and it's definitely good for dogs. So yeah. Okay, John's saying yes, that mince was the first, then came the variations. And boy, are there variations of this meat pie. I even ate a scallop one, which kind of sounded really weird to me. I mean, I forget. I think I got the original one, which wasn't even in like a cheese sauce or something. I literally cannot remember because I did so much and things move so fast. I literally cannot remember, but I videotaped it. So I will be able to share that with you as soon as Jeff gets through it all. Um, hey, Kathy. Yeah, we're glad we made it safe back too. And there's George. I mean, there's George. There's Gussie saying hi to everybody. Say you can say hi, but don't get on my lap, okay? Not today. I love you too. Okay. Um, all right. So George is asking John a question. Is it correct that tomato ketchup is the mystery ingredient to your Aussie pies? Um, John, do you want to tell that? Do you want to write in the chat what the ketchup is, or do you want me to answer that? Um, So anyway, yeah, I'll wait to hear from John because either way, it's fine with me. John can answer that probably more thoroughly than me. I have one idea, but I think John actually told me about this. So anyway, Kathy wants to know is that were the pups happy to see you? Honestly, they didn't act any different. Like I know that sounds terrible. I mean, they were excited to they kind of ran out, like they were pulling on the leashes with the vet techs and stuff, like they wanted to get out. Um, but when we got them home, it was just like we had not been gone at all. So it was that's how they always are though. And honestly, that makes my heart happy because if they were you know, like so upset that we had been gone or anything like that, then I would like be worried about the vet boarders. So yeah, just that makes my heart happy. And they love going back all the time. So like I know the boarding is good. I also know that George wasn't, or at least I'm fairly certain. And if George was injured at the boarding, because some people have asked me that if he was injured there, it was because of his brother. It wasn't anything they did or didn't do. His brother is tough. I mean, he's a little guy, but he's a tough guy, and he tackles George all the time. And with an aging back, as many can relate to, one twist, you can really do some damage. So I love where we take them for the boarding, which is also their vet. Hi, Kate Chase. Thank you. And Kathy wants to know, is Gus depressed not having his brother? No, he's been with Callie, his sister, and they love each other. So no, he's fine. But I noticed that he was kind of missing mommy a little bit. And because I've been here, because I'm going to talk about another issue that we're having here. But so he's missing his mommy a little bit, and so I brought him here for the night. Think Jeff, if I can pick up George tomorrow, which is the best news ever, then Jeff will come and get Gus so we can keep them, apart for a while. Okay. So, all right. So now let's talk about Yes. Okay. So let's talk about ketchup versus tomato sauce in Australia. Their tomato sauce is similar to the US ketchup, but it's slightly different. I don't think it's as thick, and I don't know if John has described it or not yet. Um, yeah. Okay. So John says it's more sour and runny. Ketchup is sweeter and thicker. Now, I'm gonna have to double check with Jeff because and I had different versions, I think, of the tomato sauce, aka ketchup, in Australia, and they did taste differently from each other. Different from ketchup, but also each one tasted a little bit different. And I had one that I thought was way sweeter than our ketchup. And I wasn't a huge fan of that. The way I don't know if they put it inside the filling of the meat pies. I'm kind of guessing no, that's not inside, but what they do is put it on the outside. So they eat it with ketchup, which cuts through the richness of the filling, is what I understand. Um, John says the idea is to let the sauce drip all over your clothing. Well, you know me, that happens to me all the time. George, it is not Heinz ketchup. It is called tomato sauce, and it really looks, I mean, it's kind of reddish, but it doesn't look like Heinz at all. Hey, Mare, how are you? Okay, so any more questions about Australia or George before we move in to the next topic, which is YouTube, which is terrible. um, that's right. That's right. So with the meat pies, I forgot. John squirts it into the pie through the pastry and then on top, and then you eat it. So you add the tomato sauce to the meat pie, but I don't think the filling's made with it. Okay, but you can add it in there. I didn't do that very often, but I did try it, and I can see definitely where that is beneficial. But I really wanted to get the taste of what the meat pies or the scallop pies really tasted like. I really like the curry ones. Well, when were done right, there was one I just didn't even eat. But yeah. Um, all right. I'm just gonna give it a few minutes. I gotta actually look on the graphic that I did. What else did I? Excuse me. What else did I say I was gonna talk about? Let's see. Oh, George, I bet they would be good with ketchup. I kind of prefer our ketchup over the Australian tomato sauce, but both are good. Both are good. I can't figure out. I didn't think next was YouTube, wasn't it? TSP logos. Let's see. Georgia surgery. Oh yeah, the future of YouTube. All right, are we ready for that? The future of YouTube. Like I can't predict the future of YouTube. I don't own YouTube. But I'm going to tell you what's going on with creators that I have heard from, okay, that have had to make some pretty serious decisions. And so I want to let you in on this, okay? Because I think it's very important that you know what's going on. So YouTube has never been financially a real big money producer for the salted pepper. There are a lot of channels that do produce a lot of money from their channel. I mean, a lot of money through brand sponsorships, which is something that I've just never entertained because and people already think I'm doing commercials for Ninja Foodie. I certainly don't want to be paid. I just don't want that. I've talked about that a lot in the past. I'm not saying that I never would do it in the future. Like, it's a business. There might be a partnership that I do want to do, but as a whole, I don't want to be promoting another brand. Although I know that sounds so like idiotic, since that's basically what I do for free. But I don't want to be paid to do it, because then they tell you what to say, and I'm just not that girl. So anyway, through brand partnerships, through just a lot of different ways. Ads are kind of low paying, but they do generate some income. And if you've got high views on your videos, you can make a good amount of money on YouTube. I don't have those high views, which is okay. But what has happened is the income is going down, 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 down. Now, I haven't had enough time to really like dive in and figure out, is it what they call RPMs, which is how you're paid per ad view. If that amount, that dollar amount's gone down, so even if I get the same amount of views on a video, I make less money because the pay per view kind of thing has been greatly decreased. Or if it's simply just a numbers game where my videos aren't being shown to enough people, or enough people aren't interested in them, so I'm not getting enough eyes on the videos to watch those dumb ads that generate income. So what it looks like for me personally is a 70% decline since January. And it's just been like this, okay? It is now to the point in April and March and April where it is not cost effective for the salted pepper to do videos for YouTube. It is not cost effective. And to give you an idea of why, when we film a video, you see the end product. It could be 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Some of my longer ones are 20 minutes. They take between 3, 4, and sometimes 8 hours and longer to film. Okay. That is me and Jeff filming for an entire day for one video. We can sometimes do 2 videos in a day, but it's a long day. If I'm doing a smoking video, it's all day. I mean, especially if it's a long smoking time, it's all day long. We can do things in between, but still you have to be paying attention and know when you need to go back and all that stuff. And you can't really get into a project, but that's not even the big thing, because I really love that. That part of it doesn't bother me at all. It's then what has to happen is Jeff has to edit it. And I wish I had a number for you, and I'm sure he could probably give it to me. But I think that, let's say for every 5 minutes of footage, it probably would take, I don't know, 20 minutes to edit. I don't know. I'm really kind of throwing that out there. It can take him 4, 6, 8 hours to edit a video. Okay. So now I don't pay him to do that. He does that because he loves me. He's my husband, and because he's in this with me, right? However, any business has to step back and say, if I paid somebody to do this, is it cost effective? And the answer is absolutely 100% no. The second thing with YouTube is the trolls are nasty as can be. And it's been wearing on me for a while. And yes, I know there's more nice people than mean people. And yes, I know that I should ignore them. And it's their problem, not mine. But you know what? When you wake up and you're accused of being, forget what this guy called me, a shrill? Let me see what it is. No, not shrill. A shill? I knew the meaning of it, but now I just forgot. I think it is, and maybe not. Anyway, basically what they were saying is that I'm duping people into buying high-end appliances, which I don't know. I'm not, but that because I have promoted so many recipes for the Ninja Foodie and the Ninja Combi and so on and so forth, that, basically I'm just a terrible person. And I get that kind of regularly, honestly. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Right? Why am I spending all my time putting my husband through all this anguish to meet deadlines, to put out videos on YouTube that, yes, I know people appreciate, but that just, there's no return on investment there. And it is a duty, I hate it. Okay. That's the bottom line. I absolutely hate it. I hate having to have it ready for Sunday. I hate the anxiety that it brings me. I can't be creative anymore. And I'm sorry. I knew I was going to get choked up. I just absolutely hate it. I do not hate doing the videos, but I hate all the pressure of that. And it needs to stop. I have to take a step back. So I'm stopping YouTube for a little bit, or maybe forever. I don't know yet. And when I say stopping, I just mean like, you're not going to see the Sunday videos all the time. If I feel like putting one out, I will. If I don't, I won't. I just can't keep up the rat race anymore. It's making me hate my job, you know? So sorry. I'm sorry I'm crying. Yeah, deep breath. So anyway, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. And I could even destroy my whole business by making this decision. But it's better than destroying my life. So we are just going to put a hold on. And for a little while, I'm putting a hold on Tasty Tuesday too. I need to take a step back. I need to look at the business as a whole. I need to find that passion that I had when I first started, because I spin my wheels all day. I work myself to death and I'm not getting anywhere. And what I mean by that is I don't even mean growth or money. That has never, ever been my driving force. I'm not being effective. Like, I'm not reaching the people or helping the people that I got into this to help and to offer assistance to. I am spread all over the place to the point where I can't get to people's questions. I can't help them with a dilemma. I don't see their post for 5 days. Facebook is another joke of a nightmare of a place. Another thing that I did is I closed down a bunch of groups on Facebook. They weren't active. Indoor grill group, just a bunch of different groups, and pointed them over to Simply Cooking with Louise. I have to tighten in things. I have to bring the community that wants to be involved with me a little bit closer knit so that we can get back to the good old days of, like, we really built a community that was so respectful of each other and so wonderful. And I'm talking about mainly in the Facebook group Ninja Foodie 101, which is kind of like what, was the catalyst to kind of start everything going. And I kind of want to get back there a little bit. I also want to diversify what I do. I mean, I don't always cook with the Ninja Foodie. And obviously lately I really haven't been cooking with the pressure cooker air crisper on camera. I do at home, but on camera, I haven't been doing a lot of recipes for it. Number one, because it's discontinued. So I have to look at longevity of videos, especially on YouTube that pays like crap. I certainly don't want something that's not going to earn any money, So I haven't been doing videos for that. And I still use it. I still love the product. I still think it's the best small kitchen appliance that was ever made. And I'm very disappointed that it's no longer being made, or at least from what I can tell, and I think what everybody else knows. But with the Ninja Foodie, I can do it pretty easily, right? And I hope I've given enough instruction for everybody else to be able to do it easy, or at least I can answer their questions about it. I don't need to keep doing a bunch of recipes for it, because basically you can find the recipes anywhere. So you can find, whatever kind of recipes you want for an air fryer or pressure cooker, or combination ones. Then when you want to get into the more detailed things like 360 meals, those are things that I want to be able to help people with on a more intimate level, and a more, I wouldn't say one-on-one, because I wouldn't have the time to do that, but maybe smaller groups of, let's make some 360 meals, and what do you want to see, and I'll put it together, and then we'll do a live or something like that and show you how to make it work. And I think that's a good possibility for the future of doing some of those things, whether it's in a workshop format or whether it's on Facebook. I have not made up my mind or decided. But another big passion of mine is bread making, and I get a lot of questions about bread and how to make it. And I have one person that follows me. I just love her to death. And she has yet to be successful making bread no matter what, right? I just want to grab a hold of her, bring her into my kitchen and make the bread with her. And you know what? We have the technology to be able to do that, where we can go one-on-one and make bread together on a one-on-one basis. I want to have the time to do that because that is what impacts people's lives. And that's why I'm here. That's what I want to do, is make an impact. I don't want to make $1 million. I want to make an impact, and I'm not doing that to my standards at this moment. And I need to change and pivot so that I can. I want to feel good every day. I don't want to get up and think, oh shit, I don't want to do this today, and that's where I've been. So we need to or I need to make some changes. So burnout is a big thing, obviously. And I know I've been there and I've been in it for too long. So I think taking a step back, I'll be doing things with George and just have time to kind of think, like, oh, this leads me to another little thing I'll talk about real quick. So we had a deck put on, the whole deck we had it put on for YouTube videos, believe it or not, right? To be doing more wood fire videos because I love the wood fire. And our deck was falling apart. Okay. So it needed to be replaced from a safety standpoint, even for the dogs being here, like the steps were rotted and stuff. It had to be done. We decided to have it done when I was in Australia, or when Jeff and I were in Australia. So before that, we were getting, the estimates and things like that and getting everything set up. And because I was in such a state of burnout and trying to prepare for 5 weeks of being away with videos and things like that, and because, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. And because I'm burned out and I'm tired and I can't think anymore. My brain doesn't work. So I didn't think to ask some questions and get some clarification. So I came home to kind of a deck that's all messed up. The steps are weird. Some of the bracing is weird. I mean, oh God, so that's another thing that we're dealing with right now, is trying to get that all straightened out. The contractor's super nice. He's super, willing to work with us and things like that. But every time I turn around, I'm just seeing more and more things that are wrong. And now there's a potential that like it violates code. And I'm like, God, like how much more can a person take, right? So, anyway, I've even forgot why I was telling you guys that story. It had something to do with something, but I forget. Anyway, so that's kind of like, I don't know what the future of YouTube is. I know that other creators have made this decision too, that they can no longer afford to do videos on YouTube. And is it because people are sort of getting away from YouTube? Are they getting more into the short form videos, which I personally have a hard time with because I talk too much. But I'm going to have to try, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know what the answers are because I haven't really, dived in real deep to find out, but I know I'm not the only one. Okay. At least, yes, you can watch all the old videos. I'm not taking anything down, and I will probably periodically put them up. I just need a break. I just need a break. So I've got some things that I want to work on that are important to me, and I think are going to serve people more authentically and better than what I'm doing now. Sometimes I feel like, oh God, you're fake. I'm not, though. I mean, really, I am not, I promise. But it's like, when you get away from doing what you love and what people really want, and you start like doing things because you think you should, that's when you have to reevaluate. You think you should for outside reasons, not because of you and not because of, the people that follow you, but because, it's what other people are doing or whatever. That's when you I think, have to say, okay, no, I want to be true to myself and to the people that have been following me all these years. Oh, Bonnie, I'm going to put this up. I know I haven't been over in the comments. I will get into the comments in a minute, but because of you, I've gained my love of cooking. I've been keto and I have lost the weight I need to, and now I'm lazy keto, using the knowledge I've gained from others and you to get back to basics. Bonnie, you hit the nail on the head there. And I've said, I want to get back to basics. In fact, I talked to John last night. I was like, I want to get back to basics. And he has said, you want to you've been saying you want to get back to basics. So that is an absolute thing. I want to, yes. And if I can show people the basics of cooking and have them adapt it for whatever appliance they want to use, they can do anything, you know? Like literally, if you can make a loaf of bread, if you have an interest, if you don't have an interest, no harm, no foul. You don't have to make bread, it's not for everybody. And I get that. But like literally, if you can make bread out of flour, water, and yeast, you can do anything, right? You can do anything. You can make so many things with it. And you can really just build from there. So getting basics down, I think is really important. And I think we skip that. And I think that younger people than I am, and that a lot of my audience is, the younger people, they need somebody to show them the basics because they're not being taught. And everything is fast food or convenience food or things like that. And I get wanting to make things quicker. Totally understand that. But we can do it with real food. We can do it with basic food ingredients, So we'll see what happens and where I can go with all of this and how I can just tie it in together. But I just didn't want everyone to be shocked or think that I disappeared. What? I'm not disappearing, but I kind of am disappearing, right? So from YouTube for a little bit. I do have a video coming out this Sunday. I have not decided if I'm going to do a premiere or not. Probably, I don't know, right? I love them, okay? So I love doing them. Now that I have the video done, if I have the post written before Sunday, I probably will do a premiere. Because I love chatting with everybody in the premieres on Sunday morning. I mean, it's a great group of people and I just adore it. I mean, I really love it. It's a highlight for me. But what isn't a highlight is having to write the post and have the video edited and me check it over, Jeff make the corrections, have it uploaded, all that stuff on a deadline. That's what's really been difficult with our lives as busy as they are. So anyway, that is enough of that. So that's the future of YouTube for right now, for me anyway. And then what's next for the salt and pepper? I think I've touched on a bunch of that, but the first step is taking a step back and looking at everything and just trying to figure it out a little bit, And I think summer's a good time to do that, or at least the first part of summer is a good time to do that because people are busy, and vacationing and stuff like that. I don't think you guys will miss me too much. I am not saying that I will not do a Q&A or something like that. I really haven't decided, but I would say while George is recovering for the next 2 weeks, you're not going to see me live on anything. You might see me in Facebook groups. I am going to try to get in there a little bit more because I feel like I can offer some value there. And I'll be taking care of George. And of course, I've got so much stuff to do in this house. Things that I've had on the back burner forever, improvements that need to be made in the house. And I love doing that stuff. I mean, that's what I was excited about retiring from nursing is I make a joke, I want to paint wicker furniture and stuff like that. But honestly, it's only half of a joke because I love painting and home improvement. And now, I've got a whole deck out there that once we figure out what's going to be fixed and not fixed needs to be completely done. And I want to do it myself, because there's a satisfaction in that for me. And it is something that I love to do. So, yeah, Deb, it is okay to say I don't know. Yep, it is okay to say I don't know. And it is okay for us to figure out things as we go, right? And it is okay if we make mistakes. Now, this might be a huge mistake for me. I guarantee you I'm going to lose the interest of people. You can't just disappear for a little bit and expect to come back and have, the same audience, right? But that's okay. It's okay. There's probably some people in some of the 300 and some thousand followers that follow me on Facebook or on YouTube that I don't want anyway. So, bye-bye. They can go. And then the people who really want to be around will be around. And that's good enough for me. Um, all right, George, you're so funny. Someone I know once said using real food and keep it real simple. I wonder who that was. Yeah, that's right. I forgot it I went to say it. I forgot it just now. Real life, real food, real simple. Isn't that what it is? I think it is. I say it every day when I do these videos, but um, okay. Elise, yes, I actually have not forgotten about that at all. I know it's been forever. And I actually looked for it in Australia for that, just in case maybe they had a version or something. Because, like I said, I've never tasted that type of salad dressing before. But I have not forgotten about you. I really absolutely have not. And I think I love making condiments, and I just have not had time to do things like that. And that is a perfect example of what I want to be able to do is when somebody says, hey, this was discontinued and I really love it. Is there a way to make it at home? I want to have the time to go in and experiment for that person and say, you know what? This is, I think, what you're looking for. Will you make it? And then give me the feedback. Let me know how close I came. And then I can get it as a recipe up on the website. I am going to probably be doing recipes on the website still because I don't have to have a video for every recipe. I mean, listen, if you're pouring 3 things into a bowl and you're whisking it up, I can take some pictures and put it on the website. So I'm still going to be doing recipe development. That is truly where I love to be, is in the kitchen creating new things. And I mean, they might not all be original stuff, but it's new. I usually put a little spin on it, and it's definitely new to me. And I love doing that. So I'm definitely going to keep that. So the Salt and Pepper website is not going to change at all. In fact, I think I'm going to try to improve it because I'll have a little bit of time. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh gosh. Bread baking is my favorite thing to do. Me too. I really love it. It's just a wonderful pastime, really. I love it. And it turns out different all the time, right? I mean, you can I don't follow a recipe because I just wing it every time pretty much. But I mean, you can follow the same recipe and have it turn out a little bit different because one little variable and it changes. But unless you really kind of mess it up, I mean, really bad, it's always delicious, right? Homemade pasta is another thing that I love to do, and I'd love to do it more often. It's getting hard for me to do it by hand because I've got some arthritis issues, but still, I do love making pasta. Um, oh God, John, no, no new channel decorating with Louise, no, no. Um, oh gosh, Julie said I watch your home improvements. Well, thank you. Oh, when you have to film everything that you do, it takes the fun out of it. Okay. So it's a lot harder than people think to film everything you do. And I'm just in the kitchen, kind of in one spot, or doing the wood fire stuff. It is very difficult um, to be on camera all the time like that. It's hard. It's just hard because you instinctively want to just do things, but Jeff's got to get the right camera angle. And if I jump the gun too much, then I have to redo it. It's a lot harder, guys, than you think. Um, thank you, Dorothy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. Um, I watch and do home improvements all the time. Yeah, I've been watching stuff on Beyond Paint. It's something I want to play around with a little bit for some furniture in the bedroom that is very outdated. I want to update that. Barbara, thank you. I'll be waiting for you. You probably won't really notice too much. On the YouTube side, you will, but you won't really notice. I'm still going to be on Facebook. I'm still going to be engaging there. So you probably won't notice too much, except for the video part of it. Hi, Elbridge. Thank you so much. Yes, I think we all have to do what's right for us, right? Um, all right, new channel. Louise does real life. Oh my God, Debbie, you're so funny. I will give the dogs extra scratches and loves from another fur parent. I will just definitely do that. Um, oh, I know. George, I could definitely do a whole a whole channel on the animals. They're so much funnier than I could ever be. I mean, some of the things that they do, if I could get them on video all the time, because they don't mind. They don't mind. Um, you guys would have some funny stuff to watch, let me tell you. Anyway, Leanne, I think we all need to listen to our inner voice like you are. Yeah, I haven't been listening to my inner voice. Um, and it's almost like I just have to now. Like there's just no choice. I have to now. Um, but it's been screaming at me for a while. Yeah, to make some changes. And they just have to be made, period. Um, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, thank you, Susan. Yes, thank you, Sue. Um, I definitely, well, you know how I got burned out before, right? So yeah, it's definitely time to not change course, but change my course, you know? And like I noticed that just because even since I've gotten back from Australia, I haven't really done any work, right? The video that I'm going to put out, we shot before I went to Australia. It was supposed to come out on Easter, but I moved everything a little bit. I didn't put a video out on Easter. And so I could just move it to kind of separate them a little bit. And I haven't really been back to work, and it's been it's been quite nice. And I'm noticing that I'm getting up at 5:30, like ready to go. And that was always me, you know. But lately it's been like it's 7 o'clock. I guess I better get up. And I don't want to be that. I want to jump out of bed, you know, excited for the day. And I'm going to get back there, you know. And then you guys are going to benefit from that, you know, because I'm just so ineffective right now. It's pathetic. I mean, even if you guys have been following me for a while, you can probably even notice on Tasty Tuesdays where I just lose my train of thought. It's because I'm not in it. I'm not in it. You know, I love cooking and I love that, but I'm just not in it. Like my brain's scrambled. That's the bottom line. I forget everything. It's really terrible. So, and it's all stress related. It is all stress related. I know it is. Hey, Sue. Yes, I'd love some mangoes. And what was I thinking about doing with them this year? If you offered them to me, I was going to make something, and now I can't remember what it was. And I just thought about it just the other day. See what I mean? I just thought about it the other day and I thought, oh, if I get mangoes from Sue, this is what I'm going to do with them. And it'll be a recipe, you know, on the website, but I can't remember. I also had a nice salad. I'll share this with you guys. Had a really nice salad in Starkville, which is where I took George to the hospital. And I stayed there a couple days, you know, in a hotel and while he was being evaluated. So I had a salad and it was, I forget what they called it. Something, it had a different name. I forget. I wrote it down though. But it was basically, I can almost not even remember what was in it. But basically it was this Thai chili, like fried shrimp. But I don't know if it was a dry seasoning. No, I can't remember, but I wrote it all down. But it was delicious and it was on a salad and it had toasted pecans in it, or yeah, pecans, sugared pecans. Um, and you know, the basics, you know, spring mix, things like that. And I can't remember what was in it now. Oh, and the dressing was a jalapeno pepper jelly dressing, right? So good. I'm going to recreate that for the website because that is so good. Juliet says, I'll miss this chat group. You are my people. They're my people too. Like, and I'm going to miss it too. And like I said, I'm not saying that I'm not going to do a Q&A. In fact, I think it's probably a good idea for me to do. And when I say Q&A, it could be a Q&A, which this is basically me talking, but it could be a Q&A where we talk about cooking and stuff. It could be updates and things like that. I have no problems doing the live, sitting here chatting with you guys. No problems whatsoever. I love it. I look forward to it. What I want to step back from is cooking live. Right now, I just don't want the pressure of that. And I don't want the pressure of the YouTube videos right now. So that's it. Other than that, I can definitely set up some lives. So I'll think about how often I want to do it. I don't want to commit to every Tuesday, but maybe every other Tuesday. You know, I could definitely do that, and we could do a Q&A and a quick update on life, right? Because I do love you guys very much, and I see different people here sometimes, but there are the people that are always here, and I want to stay in touch for sure. Because I'm not, retiring or anything. Like the salt and pepper is going on. It's just going to be better, right? I'm going to be a better version of myself, and it's just going to be a better food blog, and I'll be able to help more people, I believe. Mango chutney. I already have like a mango salsa, which is kind of similar to that. So that wasn't it, but I can't remember. Mare says, no, John, I won't watch the Vegemite channel. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Yeah, Vegemite. I had a Vegemite and cheese scroll, I think it was called, in Australia. And it was good. I really did like that combination of Vegemite and cheese. It was very good. Very small amount of Vegemite. I mean, that's the thing. A very small amount. Small amount goes a long way. I also have a video where Jeff tastes Vegemite. And I kind of convinced him to do it my way, which John didn't even like my way, which is doing a little sweet and the salty together. And I don't think Jeff liked it too much, but that video, will probably come out, at some point. And these will be short videos, so they'll most likely end up. I'll put them on YouTube too, because I really don't care. I'll put them on YouTube, and they'll be as short. So some people will watch them, some people won't. There was something else I was going to say though. Darn it. I can't remember now. There's something else, but I can't remember. Oh, I know. I had the best food. When I say the best food, I don't mean all across the board. I never had anything bad. The best food was at John's house. And, that was, although I have to say that this one thing that I'm going to talk about was probably better than anything that John made. Sorry, John, I love you, but this thing was life-changing. And it was this pastry scroll that was savory. Okay. So now the pastry, it's not like it was savory in and of itself. It was it tasted like olive oily, and it was like a croissant, but it was kind of wrapped like a scroll, and it had tomatoes on it. I can't remember what was on it now. Tomatoes on it. And it had pesto inside. So in the scroll, it had some pesto, it had a tomato, and it had, I believe, creamed feta. But maybe that one did. Yeah, I think it did. There was something else I had at a restaurant that was equally delicious, and that had, I think, creamed feta on it. All of it's a blur. It's all a blur. But yeah. Yeah. So I've got some things I really want to work on, and I really want to learn how to make these. And the first thing is going to be learning how to make croissants, probably. So I want to be able to do that, and then I want to share it with people who may want to make croissants. Like, that is a video that I would absolutely put out on YouTube. Absolutely. Because it is something specific enough. I'm not trying to please the masses. If you want to make croissants, you're going to be looking to watch videos of people who are showing you step by step how to do something. And that's what I love to do. I don't like the quick videos. Like I said earlier, I don't like them. I really like to take it step by step, because I'm a teacher at heart too. I'm a nurse, a teacher, and I love cooking. So I want to combine all that stuff, and I'll nurse George, and I'm going to teach myself how to make croissants, and then I'll put the video out for you guys. There you go. Mary says, I'd love to see more 360 recipes. I talked about that earlier. Don't know if you were in the chat at the time, but yeah, those are recipes that are best done in kind of like a more intimate situation because everybody wants to change things with 360 recipes. And so when I have one out on my website and you want to change one ingredient, it changes everything. Unless you change it with an equal type of ingredient. So a root vegetable for a root vegetable can sometimes work. Sometimes you need to make a vegetable smaller or bigger so that it cooks it all at the same time if you want to substitute. So those are things, like I do go over that a little bit in my course. So Mara, if you have the Ninja Foodie 101 Basics and Beyond course, I do go over that a little bit, which that leads me to another thing. That course is something that I'm redoing, not redoing, like redoing the videos. What I'm doing is making it look different. So it's more visually appealing. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's so outdated as far as the layout, not the information. All of that is still true and in effect, but the layout is very outdated. And I think it's hard to navigate. So it's been a big project. It's been on my to-do list for over a year. And I have not gotten it done because I'm chasing, churning content, I'm on the hamster wheel constantly and I'm jumping off now so I can get some of these things done. I also want to build out the skills cabinet in there. That's where a lot of little recipes are. And right now you can only buy it if you have the course. You can upgrade and get it for, I think it's like $6 or something. But I want to be able to build it out a little bit more and then offer it to people who want to have those kind of like skills videos and things like that in an easy to access manner. Because I don't think YouTube's very easy to access as far as finding exactly what you want. Like if you want to know how to julienne a carrot, you can look that up. There are probably videos on how to do that. But if you want to see me do it, you could go into the skills library and say, how do you julienne a carrot? And boom, there you go. It's a little video. So those are the things that I really want to get to now. All right. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really a lot more than you can even imagine. Yep, whatever it is, they'll be coming to me when it's ready. Yep, you're right. Exactly right. And I feel that. I've just felt like a little, I almost feel like my old self again, having a little bit of a break just in this past week. And it's been nice. I spent 2 days out shopping. I hate shopping, but, and I wasn't food shopping, believe it or not. Oh, and I got the slushie. I didn't want to pay the money for it. I got the Walmart one because it was $50 cheaper, but I didn't want to pay the money for it. But let me tell you, I made a milkshake the other day with milk, cream, and some Hershey's syrup. It was good. It was really good. And it was very fast. So I have to watch that though, because I'm going to, gain weight. I don't want to do that. But I'm pretty excited about that. Summertime cocktails and stuff like that. Okay. Yes, Barbara, I think that's a good idea to do the Q&A. I will plan on doing that every other week. So I'm going to get back on the Q&A schedule because that's when Jeff is at work. So I'm going to probably do one next Tuesday. Or maybe I should do it when he's not at work because he'll have the dogs. No. Well, let's just see how it goes. Okay. Let me take next week off and then we'll see. But I agree. I think I need to do them and I enjoy them. All right. Louise, you have taught us so much and the pupils are now teaching others what we have learned from you. John, that is so true. That is so true. I see that all the time. And of course, you are a great example of that. John teaches at a center local to him, and he teaches people how to use the Ninja Foodie there in Australia. And that is just lovely. I mean, it's just wonderful. And in the Facebook groups, when I have time to get in them and really look for the quality content, because Facebook's a joke now. Have you noticed? I mean, it's AI, which is, I'm not even going to start on that tonight, but it is a complete shit show, for lack of a better word. I mean, it is a mess. And it's very difficult to navigate. But when I can get into the groups and really get to the quality comments and stuff like that, I see people who are kind of, like, I know that when I say it, I'm not trying to boast or anything like that, but they put something in such a way that they basically, I know that they learned that from me, and that makes my heart happy, really happy. And, that's kind of why I've been able to step back from the Ninja Foodie 101 group a lot. It's not as active as it used to be, but by the time I get to a question, people have already answered it correctly. When I first started that group, well, none of us knew what this thing was, me included. I mean, I knew a little bit about pressure cooking, but none of us knew how to operate it. We learned together and we shared experiences, and now we're passing that on. It's amazing. It really is. And that is the beauty of that community. That Facebook group, I still stand behind it, is, and definitely was, it's not as active, like I said, is the best Facebook group on Facebook. It is the best community of all. Very little hate in there, very little problems in there. People are just nice and respectful. And, again, not to be boastful, but I think very early on that group was so important to me. Not that the other ones aren't, but this one it was my baby, right? It was the first one. And it was my, I was brand new to this career of food blogging and doing YouTube videos. And I set standards in that group that I was strict with. You got out of line, you were kicked out for good. Banned, no excuses, didn't care. I got some hate for it, but I weeded out the negative, and what people saw was positive, all positive. And when you see all positive, you emulate positive. When you see a group that's negative, it brings out the negative people. So if you can keep it positive, you're going to bring out the positive people. And that's what we were able to accomplish. And we did it together, guys. Everyone that's in that group, Debbie, I know Debbie is, I know a bunch of other people are in that group. We did that. We did that together, because you guys helped police it in the beginning too. I mean, I would get little messages. Did you see so-and-so? I don't think you'd like that comment. Or I saw one, I'll never forget this. I forget who did it, but they said something about, I don't think you understand how this group works. Louise is not going to tolerate your sarcasm or your nastiness or whatever it was. You will be removed. And they were right. I removed that person right away. So anyway, yes, Mayor Jeff needs the break too. Yes, he does. We all need it, even the dogs need it. Yep. I agree 100%. The dogs need it too, because, when we're running back and forth, I mean, sometimes it's like Jeff is rushing to get out of here because we did crate the dogs because we didn't want them underfoot during a video shoot, especially like when we're doing outdoor stuff. But then he's like rushing. We got to rush because we don't want to keep the dogs locked up, in a crate for that long. And I can't keep them out because Callie pees everywhere and I hate cleaning it up. So, CB, she's a Brit, or he, I'm sorry, I don't know. So I just love Marmite. Is there a difference between Marmite and Vegemite? I think I've asked that before. I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm absolutely not going anywhere. I'm just taking a break from YouTube. That's all. I mean, I hope people don't start spreading anything around that I'm not doing this anymore, but because that's not true. But you know how things get distorted as they move on. So please, if you share this with somebody, not the video or anything, but if you say, oh, I heard the salted pepper, is no longer doing it, make sure you clarify, the salted pepper is taking a break from YouTube. That is the truth, So let's stick to that one. And if you see anyone spreading kind of falsities, because it happens intentionally or not, it happens, just correct them gently. Okay. But in a positive way, right? We don't want to be mean to people. There's so much nastiness out there. We don't want to be mean, and certainly not on Facebook. Unless it's AI, because you can be mean to AI. They have no feelings. So when you see that picture of that perfect cake that is unattainable and it's cooked fruit inside, but it looks completely raw, that's AI. You can say your picture sucks because it's AI. They don't get their feelings hurt. When anybody else posts a picture of their food, don't ever say it sucks because that's just rude. Okay. Oh, okay, another example, perfect example. So when I was in Australia, I started taking snapshots of all the different cuts of meat so I could learn more about the way things are done. I want to have the time to break that down for people. I want to be able to work with people like CB who live in a different country and have weird cuts. I want to be able to research it. I know barbecue. I know smoking. I owned a barbecue restaurant. Like I know it. I do it my way. Other people do it their way. It's not wrong one way or the other. It's not wrong. I just personally like the way I do it because it's lazy. I don't babysit smoking meats because I don't think you should have to. But I want to be able to work with you on that. Like I want you to be able to find something that you want to smoke or an idea of what you want to smoke based on a recipe. And then we figure out what meat you need to get and how you need to do it. And I can't do that unless I can answer your questions or, have some time to like do research and get back to you. And a lot of platforms, that's almost impossible to do. So I'm working on some solutions there too. You can always email me though. I'm not the best at getting back immediately though. I will be honest because my email's saturated, which is another thing. I've got to unsubscribe to a bunch of junk mail. Allison got the slushy and the Ninja Creamy Deluxe. The Ninja Creamy Deluxe, and I don't know what kind of recipes you're looking for, but tasty, but Lauren with the Tasty Travelers has a ton of recipes on her website, and I've tried them, and they are good. I tried to do Ninja Creamy recipes or ice cream recipes in the Ninja Creamy like long time ago, and I couldn't really get them to work out the way I wanted them to. I didn't want to use pudding mix or cream cheese or things like that. Because my whole brand is basically around real food, what I mean by real food is just not overly processed food. So some of those things are getting a little overly processed, but doesn't mean they're not good, And some of her ice creams that I've tried, all of them that I've tried, except for strawberry, because I'm not a fan of strawberry, but my husband loved it, have been fantastic. So Tasty Travelers, Lauren, she's got a big group on Facebook, and she's a real good resource. As far as the slushy goes, I'm going to have fun with that. So yes, I'll be posting recipes. Now, something like the slushy, I don't need a full-on YouTube video. I need a short video on that. I mean, again, how hard is it to throw in 3 ingredients or 4 ingredients, push a button, and then dispense it when it's done? Like, I don't have to do a long video on that. It would be silly to do. So those are things that I could do very easily over the summer, test them, pop them up on my website, and do a short little video and put it out on social media. So and unedited. I'm not even going to worry about editing. Like I'm making it super simple, right? I mean, I say real simple. Well, let me put that into practice with videos and things like that, just to keep it simple because the editing takes so long. All right, we got to see Jeff sometimes too. Yes. You know what I should have done is asked him if he wanted to join in because he could have done that. We have the technology, right? Even if he is in a different place, he could have joined in to say hi to you guys. So yes, definitely you've got to see Jeff sometimes. Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. I've been going over a lot here tonight. So you might want to watch the replay. Let's see. See, my nose is itching again. Isn't it crazy? You're right about AI and Facebook. Oh, I know. It's so horrible. And they really are putting bloggers out of business. It's really sad. I mean, even like Google. So now, from a personal standpoint, this is very convenient and quick and easy. But from a professional standpoint, it really bothers me. So, when you say to Google, how many centimeters is 1 inch? Well, that's probably a bad example because I think they've been giving those answers for a long time. What cut of meat is best to make pulled pork? You ask that question. You're going to get an AI response up at the top. And that's fine. It's nice and easy. You just can read it real quick. You don't even have to click off of Google and boom, you're done. However, Google doesn't know anything. AI doesn't know anything. Where they got their information from, their sources are people like me who put together blog posts and things like that. Or, the butcher who wrote up the different cuts of meat, or all the people that said that, the pork shoulder is the best for pulled pork, or the Boston butt, or whatever, the case may be. That's what it's pulling from. So it's taking, and that's probably like a very simplified version. But even when AI gives you a recipe, it's taking the information from bloggers like me, stealing it essentially. We tested the recipe, and now they're taking it and spitting it out for free, which is nice for you guys if it works, because sometimes they'll take a little piece from me, a little piece from somebody else, a little piece from somebody else, and they'll marry them all together and think that they've come up, AI's developed this recipe. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Depends on how complicated they are. I don't really ever have to worry about AI creating Ninja Foodie recipes. There's not enough information out there for them to get that right. I've tried a few times, and unless something's really changed, they mess it up every single time. Also, I hate the way that Ninja called everything the Ninja Foodie, but that does confuse AI a little bit. They don't know if you're talking about the Ninja Foodie grill, the Ninja Foodie pressure cooker. They don't know. So yeah, they mess it up quite a bit. Oh, good. I'm good. I'm good to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, Elbridge. Hi, Robin. Yeah, John, that's funny. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Um, Bonnie says, I wish I could block AI. I know. Oh, and guess what Facebook did to me the other day? Well, they're doing it to everybody. It's not just me. They're not picking on me or anything, but now they've decided to automatically enable AI chatbots in groups, where if you miss the notification, you could go on pretty much forever not knowing that you have an AI chatbot in your group answering questions. And you have to manually go in, and it's confusing as hell, but you have to manually go in and turn off the features. You can't deactivate it totally, or you can't get rid of it totally, but you can, turn the features off so that nobody can basically access it. And I have been in other groups where where the group, administrator or whatever has decided to keep AI, or maybe they don't know that it's there, the AI chatbot. The answers are unreal. They're ridiculous. They're stupid most of the time. They do not know what they're talking about. And honestly, it is a terrible reflection on the group. I happen to know that that's AI, and it's not the fault of the administrator of the group. But if you didn't know that and you're reading this AI bot answer, you're going to be like, this group is ridiculous. I'm leaving it. So, this doesn't even make sense. Why is he or she, why is this thing answering like this and pointing me in a different direction? It's like really odd stuff going on, guys. Really odd stuff. Okay, so at least we haven't put them out. I did talk about that early on. We have not put them out on Avoiding Highways yet on YouTube. Jeff is still going through the footage. There's just so much of it. He put out a few teaser videos on Facebook, which was on Avoiding Highways Facebook page, so you can find some there. I don't think I've put out any videos about food, but when I do, they'll be on the Salt and Pepper, both on Facebook and on YouTube. No, Elbridge, I am stopping individual videos on YouTube right now, but I still will be going live on YouTube when I do the Q&As. So I'm not just pausing live stuff. It's the opposite. I am pausing the posted videos that I usually put out every Sunday. Those are on hold. Although you're going to see one this Sunday because I have it ready. And you might even see one next Sunday because I have another one that I can throw out. Or I might throw it out during the week or something like that. I'm just not going to be on that schedule of committed to every single Sunday. I'm too burned out for it and I can't do it. So you may see a video, you may not. I'm just not making any promises there. If something inspires me and I make it and I test it and it's beautiful and I feel like it's going to, improve the lives of others in some small way, or I'm just so excited I want to share it, then I'll do a video on it and I'll put it out on YouTube. But as far as having it all mapped out for the rest of the year like I usually do and being stuck in this little pigeonhole, I'm not doing it anymore. I need my creativity back and my passion back. So I'm going to take it back. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was saying. All AI does is scrape what humans have done and make it sound like it created something new. Great as a tool to find out what humans already know, but it's not creative. You're absolutely right, George. Absolutely. Nail on the head, right? And sometimes if we have trouble with wording, it does give a different perspective. It's great for ideation purposes, to get some ideas on how to say something, or, there's great purposes for AI, wonderful uses for AI. My little thing is kind of not focused on me very well, is it? It's auto-focusing. That's kind of weird. So I'm kind of blurry. That might be going on the whole time. See? Isn't that weird? There we go. I don't know. Cameras. Sugar-free ice cream recipes since I'm diabetic. I'm trying to think if I have any. I'm not sure. The problem with sugar-free ice cream recipes is you do need to add some additives because sugar is one of the things that keeps it from freezing solid. So do you have the Ninja Creamy, or are you looking for churn style? Let me know and I can see what I can come up with. Juliet says, I don't Google, I use DuckDuckGo, and I've never been on Facebook. I can support that. Although DuckDuckGo, I've heard people use them. I don't think I'm really that familiar. Google, because they are so dominant and so popular, a lot of the things that I need to do for business only work if you're in a Google browser. If you're, what is it, Chrome, I think it's called. So yeah, there's that, All right, Glam Dolly. Yes, I am home, and this is not one you want to miss. So I would probably go back and at least sort of scrub through it a little bit, like fast forward to get the gist, because I've talked about a lot of stuff. First part is Australia trip. Second part is my dog George. Third part is the future of YouTube, and then what's next for the salt and pepper. And yeah, so just to recap, Australia was awesome. George had surgery for a herniated disc. He's doing well. He comes home. He has an 8-week recovery time, most likely 4 weeks of strict rest. Jeff and I are staying in different houses to make that happen with our lives and our dogs. I'm pausing YouTube for a little bit because it's too stressful and I need to take a step back and kind of reevaluate. And it has had a 70% decline in revenue since January. And keep in mind, that revenue in January wouldn't even sustain a full-time job. So it definitely has gone down to pennies. Okay. It's nothing. And it's just their return on investment's not there for all the stress it causes me and all that stuff. So I'm reinventing what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to present all this information to you guys in video format and in post format. It's just not going to be on a schedule like I've been doing. Right. So, all right. Any other questions before I go? It's been an hour and a half, so sorry about that. So we started half an hour early. I'm still ending at the same time, 8 o'clock. Well, usually I guess I end at 8:30 because I always go over, don't I? Always. I talk too much. I'm told that on YouTube all the time. I've started to say thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing my job. Because I consider my job teaching. Thank you, Dorothy. I know. Poor George. Oh my gosh. I know. He's such a baby. But a funny story about George, too. I went to visit him. He has a vet tech named Adam. Now, George is Jeff's dog. Obviously, he's both of our dogs. But you know how dogs will gravitate sometimes to one parent or the other. Jeff and George have a bond that is just unbelievable. And when I went to visit him, George was more interested in hanging out with the vet student, who's a 4th-year student, than me, literally. every time, like, I mean, he would come over, he wanted to get a little bit of petting, but then he would turn right back to Adam, and he would just sit there with Adam. Scratch me, Adam. Love on me, Adam. So George is definitely a dog that bonds with men more than females, I think, because he just is. He loves Jeff and he loves Adam, and he loves his mom too, but it's just so different. Um, Dorothy had a herniated disc and she wouldn't wish it on anyone. Yeah, I know. And George, you didn't even know he was in pain, really. You just knew something was wrong because he was kind of falling down. Thank you. Thank you, Glam Dolly. I think that's a great way to end. And so I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. And again, I love you guys so much. And look forward for the notifications. Also, I am going to start to, because we're going to be a little sporadic here, I am going to start to send out emails for when I do post a video or when I do schedule a live. So if you're not on my email list yet, you can sign up, and let me get you the link to sign up. And you can put in there your preferences of what emails you want to get. But if you want to get emails on live streams, there's a place that you have to check for that. Now it'd be nice if I knew how to sign up for my own email, right? I don't remember the link. Let me go. I'm gonna Google it. And I also want to get better with email because people sign up and then I don't do anything. I don't send them anything. They should be getting recipes and stuff like that. I don't promote my old recipes. I've got so many videos, so many recipes that maybe I'll have Jeff find some of the older videos on YouTube and we will tweak them a little bit and republish them, because people forget about them and they're not going to find them. They're way archived on YouTube. If you're not searching for it, you may not find them. Same with the recipes on my website. I have so many of them. Some of them need to be updated. I'm going to work on that too this summer and get them back out. One of my big things that I hope I can do is for recipes that I think are popular and would work well in different appliances. I want to do them in different appliances so that if you're looking for a slow cooker version, you can find it on my website. If you're looking for the pressure cooker version of that recipe, you can find it on my website. If you're looking for, the Ninja Combi version of that recipe, you can find it. There'll be little tweaks, but basically the same recipe. So let's say it's chicken Alfredo. We could do them in all those appliances. Just going to be a little bit different. How you set it up and things like that. And that way if you don't have the combi, you can still make it, or how to do it on the stove too, right? I mean, basics, get back to basics. But if you have that appliance, you can do it. Or if you want to slow cook something over pressure cook because you have more time, or you want to set it and leave for work. So I want to give you variations and really help people put great food on their table because that's what it's all about. And food costs are, they're not the best, right? So we really need to make sure that when we're making something, we're not really messing it up. And so I want to make the mistakes so that I can write things up so that you don't make the mistakes. Anyway, I love you guys. Good night. See you later.